Hello everyone. Today we're doing pork loin. I'm going to do it in 3 different ways today. I'm going to do one on my Napoleon grill in direct heat, one in the smoker just off the coals, and then I'll do another one with some apple smoke. So let's get trimming the meat. We don't want any of this. So we're going to very carefully get that started. You can see I got, hopefully it shows up in the camera. I'm lifting up that silver skin. We want to cut all this off. And we could pull most of it. Right, we'll put that aside. That'll be garbage. Get it going with the knife. Get a hold of it. Just pull. We don't want that silver skin, just like ribs. Normally I would use a paper towel to get the silver skin off. But if you don't have a towel, you can hear it. You just use your knife. And slowly get it off. We don't want fat pieces like this. So we're going to get these trimmed up. Today we're just going to do something simple. Salt and a lemon and a herb spice on it. I've done tenderloins in so many different ways that which one was better, I don't remember. As the video progresses, maybe my memory will come back. And I'll show everybody different ways of doing it, like carving. So I'm trying to get this thing all, you want to slice it, right? We just don't want a lot of these chunks on here of fat. Like, you don't have to go crazy at the trimming because you want some marbling for sure. But stuff like this, we definitely don't want. So we're just gonna, like I said, this channel will show the mistakes. There we go. While I'm doing this, just to show, my cat decided to run off with the packaging that I put in the bag. When I took the pulled pork out of the packaging, I put it in a bag and I wrapped it. She decided to run off with it. Noelle, no, what you doing? No. What are you doing? What you doing? No. Come on. You can't. It's all wrapped up. Cat likes to... Yeah, if you got a cat, be very careful with the trimmings and all of that because, well, they love to attack it. So this one here I'm happy with. If I could go crazy at getting every bit off, right? Like, you definitely can. I know this little bit at the end isn't going to render, so I'm just going to slice that off and use it for something else. The concept, you're going to trim it the best you can so that when you're done, whether it's barbecue or in the oven and grilling or whatever, you can slice it all up and you can eat everything on it. It's the yield. This I'm going to put back in the fridge. No point. I just want to try and be fair to these two cuts to get a proper assessment of the difference between the Napoleon grill on indirect heat, my stump smoker with just charcoal, no wood flavor, and then this guy I'll put back in the stumps with an apple flavor, wood chunk. And if I season it now, this sitting in the seasoning for the hour or so it's going to take to cook these will not be a fair, it just wouldn't be a fair assessment. So I'm going to wrap this up in saran wrap, put it in the fridge for an hour. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one that fights saran wrap once in a while. So we're just going to do this. Now it's wrapped up. Right. I just want to do a fair assessment. I'll cook them up. I'll try my best to cook them at the same temperatures. So when these are almost done, I will season that up and get it on with apple smoke. Or these will be done actually by that point. So now, I'm just gonna go. Just gonna salt it all up. I got this spice yesterday. I'm gonna try it out. It's called lemon and herbs. Gonna give this a shot and see. So we're gonna cover all this up. Try and get it. Try and be fair with it. Alright. Turn these over. Now, whenever you have spices left on the cutting board, that's when you get the sides. Just stick it all in there. To be fair, I guess we'll. Don't worry, I will wash the salt. I just don't know how much salt is in this spice. There we go. Now whether the spice is good or not, don't know. You don't know to try. You know, I've done it where I soaked it in white vinegar. I've done pork loin where it's been soaked in soy sauce and brown sugar, which is really nice. And garlic, of course. Can't forget that. So, there's many ways of cooking stuff. So there we go. Got a big mess here, which is okay. We're patting this all down. I want to put the meat. If you notice if it shows up or not, but right now it seems like the center is the thickest part. So I'm going to put a meat probe in here and one in here. I'm going to use my meter in one. The one that goes in the smoker, I'll be using the meter probe. So we'll stick this in here. That's the thickest part. Maybe start here. Trying to get it in the center. There we go. So I can feel it. I feel the probe right in here. It's a wireless one. On my Napoleon, I'll just use a wired one. Shove it in. Should take about, I'm guessing about an hour. I'm doing around the 250 range. Gonna cook it to around 145, 150. That's a safe range for pork tenderloin. So it shouldn't take long, because if you overcook it, it'll be really, really dry. So the idea is to cook it so it's fully cooked, but still have that juicy tenderness. And these guys, I'm going to do something with those in a frying pan. That's coming soon. Oh yeah. It's nice and hot. I'm going to pull that out. There it is. Right dead center. But we're going to stick this guy right in the dead center. Like so. I got the probe in. Like, I could feel it right around here. It's a long probe. Hopefully, it's right around center. It's reading there now. And the other one, well, I gotta turn on my meter so I can see it on my phone. And it will tell me. So let's get this locked up. I'm guessing about an hour. So in an hour, one will be done before the other for sure. But we'll cut them open at the same time. And after that, we'll cut open the one I smoke with maple. In the meantime, watch me. Let's do something with these cuts. That will be really, really nice. All right, here we go. So I got a garlic here. Just gonna cut the ends off like I like to do with it. You don't really have to, but myself, that's what I like to do. I'm not sure where my garlic press is. I think it's in the washer right now. So, gonna get the shell off. Right? And this is like, I cut it for a flat end, it'd be easier. Just gonna cut it thin. There's many ways of doing garlic. Right, so we got some thin cuts there. Another way to do garlic, if you want it, if you don't have a crusher, just go like this. Take your knife and there you go. Get squashed. And you just, the bigger knife it squashes better, but then if you just keep going, you'll get it nicely minced. Right now, I just want flavor, so I'm gonna leave it in big chunks. So here we go. Right, gonna take some of these garlic, throw it in here. These chunks that I cut off on the pork loin, I'm gonna put in here. Right, I'll use my clean hand to get some white wine vinegar. Get it to marinate. Then we're gonna go put some black pepper in here. Oregano, onion powder. Whoa, oh, it went out way too fast. I wanted some more white wine vinegar. So we'll get a lot of spices in here. The only missing is the salt. Some salt in there. Alright, we're going to get the air out. Now, alright, we're just going to shake it all up. And I'm going to put this back in the fridge. And then I'm going to put this in the frying pan after. Just with butter. Put butter in the frying pan and I'll slice it all up. And there you go. And it's perfect for like wraps, you know, tzatziki sauce, lettuce, tomato, cucumber in the wrap, right? So it's just a way of not wasting all of your meat when you're carving it up. So let's put that in the fridge. Now I'm going to wash these boards. In the meantime, the pork loin is cooking. So just to give an idea where we're at right now, this is sitting at the 250 range. This is at 223, so we're 20-degree difference between the two. 101, that's the internal temp for the pork loin. And the internal temp for the pork loin in this, well, I'd have to go on my phone to check, but it can't be much different. So that's where we're at with that. Let's see how this experiment goes. Hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm back. Here is the cuts that I had soaking in the Ziploc bag. The trimmings of the pork loin that I did. Soaking in the nice white wine vinegar and herbs and garlic. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to chop these up in smaller pieces. Right? You see it really... And the thing is, when you marinate it for long enough, it just soaks everything out of there, right? There's the garlic stuff. I'm not going to add the actual garlic to it. Right? So I'm going to wash my hands, trim this up, and get it in the frying pan. And this is awesome for like making a sandwich or especially a wrap, right? And so if you got a frying pan that's coated for non-stick, you're going to want to use rubber tongs so you don't scratch the surface. And this one here I'm using is really thick, so for sauteing it works out really nice. And we're going to get all this fried up nicely. So it's cooking nicely. Doesn't take long because we cut it up into cubes. It will not take long to cook. We want it cooked right through, for sure. I didn't have to add any more salt and pepper or anything like that because it's already been soaking and marinating and all those flavors. If you want to add more spices to it, by all means, of course, feel free. Let it cool a bit and get it out of there. There we go. So you can see it's cooked right through. It's going to be hot, but... That is really good. I think it's overcooked, but as it cools down, it'll be better. Usually I do it on the barbecue. I had to cut those ends off anyways, right? Because they would just burn to a crisp, being slow cooked. So why not cut them off and throw it in the pan, or slice it up and you can just grill them, but use them up, right? All right, here we go. So the internal temp on this one just hit 150. I'm going to take it off. Look at that. I'm going to take this off. Oh, that looks good. And what I'm going to do is I want to put a toothpick in it so we know the difference. So this one, so we know this one here with the toothpick, which really, I forgot I got some out in there, is off the smoker. We're going to close this up, and right away, because I'm going to do a third one. Got a piece of apple. And I'm going to get this apple in here. Let's move some of that sawdust out. So we're going to put that apple right in the center. And let that start going. This one is sitting at 146. So it probably needs another... just trying to be fair. Another few more minutes. When you have this cooking, when you know it's perfectly even heat around the whole cut of meat you're cooking, versus this one, somewhat even, but not. It's going to be interesting. 47. I want to get this inside and pull that out in about 5 minutes. And let's get a comparison on the cutting board. On the counter, close this up. And we'll let this rest for about 20 minutes. Cut them open. And see, let's see the difference between the two. The third one will be separately. Alright, here we go. So they are both done. Both cooked at the same temperature. The Stumps was about 20 degrees higher than the Napoleon one. You can see the difference. Even in the smoker, without any wood, it's got like that reddish mahogany look starting. And if I turn this around, it's the one on the barbecue is darker. So let's cut this down. They're both cooked to 150. Take that toothpick out. And there we go. Here's the difference between the two. I want to give this a bite, see how it is. That's really good. Myself, I don't see difference is very, very slight. The one done in the smoker definitely has more flavor. You'll see more pink in the smoked one. It's cooked to 150. It's got a nice crust to it, and it's extremely juicy. And yes, it's cooked properly. And there we go. Here's the pork loin, Napoleon versus the Stumps. Cooked right through, extremely tender. And you can see the difference in the barks. And there you have it. This is the one that I just finished doing. Look at the bark on this. With apple smoke. Let's give this a try. Look at that. And see the difference. You can see how juicy that is, eh? And there's no, it's just, you know it's cooked well. You can see the whiteness there. It's got a little bit of a smoke ring. Not a whole lot. You can really taste the sweetness it added. It's much sweeter than the other ones. Wow. You'd almost think I put sugar in it. Pork tenderloin, I've done it in 3 different ways. I've done 2 on the Stumps with no wood flavor to it. 1 on my Napoleon grill in direct heat. And then I did the 3rd with apple smoke. You can see the juices just popping out of there, clear. That is so juicy and tender. And a beautiful crust as well. Pork tenderloin with the nice lemon and citrus flavor. What I tried today was the Clubhouse lemon and herbs, if anybody is wondering. And there you go. Hit that like button, subscribe. Much more to come. Barbecuing at home.